We talked to Mega Marketer Sam Bakker, and he shared with us his story, including his humble beginnings and how to build your list and keep it active for the long term. What's his next launch all about, and who would he like to see interviewed on IMMarketNews? That's what you'll find out in this interview. Check it out. Hi, Sam. How you doing?
Hey, good.
Good, good. It's good to talk to you. We appreciate you being with us today for this interview. So you're known as one of the top marketers or the top marketer. So how did you get started? You had to start somewhere. Where'd you start?
Sure. I don't know about top marketer, but for our space, I do well, and it's been good. I started actually working in a call center. I was doing online marketing. I'd actually done an e-commerce business throughout school and quit that because the costs of inventory and all the faults and issues and all sorts were a real pain. So I made a few bad decisions, found myself with zero cash, out of school, not wanting to go to university, and I picked up a job at a call center. Then from there, I was learning about online marketing. I had read a couple of books. Mindful Sam and Ryan Dice were two guys that I learned a lot from products that I purchased, and I'd invested a lot into it. I'd put myself into debt purchasing these products, and I needed a way to make them pay, and it was enough of a kick up the rear when my boss pulled me into his office, said, "It's been 3 months, you haven't made a single sale. If you don't make a sale this week, we're letting you go." So I thought, I better do something. So I started looking through my contacts that I was calling for the call center, and I found one business, and I called them up and I said, "Hey, you interested in cheap phone rates?" And they said no. And I said, "Okay, well, what if that's not exactly what I'm calling. I'm looking at your website, and I think there's some things that I could help you improve with it." And then they thought, okay, cool. So what could you do? And I started talking about email marketing. I started talking about membership websites. I started talking about content and how it's important to, produce content on a regular basis to rank it to the top of Google. And that led to me meeting this guy on Saturday and then signing up basically to be a consultant for this business, working 20 hours a week on a consulting basis, getting paid more than I was getting paid at the call center anyway from Tuesday. And it was lucky that happened because I was literally driving in to tell everyone, and I was excited. I was like, yes, I'm going to tell everyone that I'm leaving. You can't find me because I'm gone. And they actually called me up and they told me, "Oh, don't bother coming into work today." So I never got the opportunity.
Wow, amazing. Love the story. Um,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us. You've done so many launches. You do launches consistently. How do you manage? How do you manage all that?
Uh, yeah, I don't know if I manage it all the time. It's yeah, it's a bit difficult, but it's a good team we've got in place. My wife is a very good organizer, and she's very good with systems and structures. So thank goodness for that. Otherwise, I wouldn't cope. Other than that, we work hard. We understand this as a business. We treat it like a business, and we make sure that while we are working very hard, we're not pushing too much, and we're doing what we possibly can to do the best we possibly can for this business, for us, and obviously one of the reasons we've been able to sell so much consistently, launch so much consistently, is because we've been able to give enough to the marketplace where we're able to do that. So we don't take that for granted, and we work hard to obviously to maintain that.
I think that's what people like about you, Sam, is you come across in a way that's relatable, real, down to earth, humble, but excited. And I think I mean, in my own humble opinion, that really works for you. And I've enjoyed watching you, and always interested to see what Sam's going to come up with next, or what Sam's going to market. So yeah, whatever
Thanks.
you're doing is working, and you know that. So.
Yeah, that's good.
So your conversion, I want to talk to you a little bit about conversion. Your conversion seems to be high. We see you on leaderboards. So you're doing something there. How do you keep that high? How do you keep your conversion high?
Yeah, well, the first thing was it wasn't always the case. if you looked at my stats, and I was doing this the other day, I was actually looking at about 3 years ago, when I was first sort of email marketing, and I mean I've been email marketing. I've been online since about 2010. I made my first money, sold my first digital product in 2011. So I'm not necessarily new to online marketing, but I left for a significant amount of time, and a good year and a half I was completely out of it. And after coming back, I had learned quite a few things from my first go at online marketing. One of the things is obviously building a relationship with your subscribers in such a way that obviously you've built up enough trust. That's really important, especially in this marketplace. But also you've provided them with quality, and you're always giving and doing your best to offer them the most value for what they're doing. So I was looking at about 3 years ago, and when I first got online, and I generated a newer list. I was sending emails to my subscribers, and they were just emails directly to a sales page. There wasn't any thought to build a relationship with them. It was the same on my sales videos as well. I'd just have black text on a white background. No one would ever see my face. And over time, the market's moved, and I don't think it's necessarily customers that have changed. I think it's more that marketers in this community have changed in the way that they've learned and understood that if you want to be successful, you have to be good to your customers. You have to build a relationship with your customers, and you have to put yourself out there as well. And one of the reasons that I've been successful is I noticed that early on, and I started making adjustments and changes in my business. And certain people in the community have made a change, and I saw that was happening. I made another change, and it was driven mainly because marketers having different ideas about how they could engage their customers in a new way, and building a reputation around that. Some people have a reputation of converting a lot. Some people have a reputation of, some people have a reputation of selling a lot from behind the scenes. Some people work with JVs, and they build their reputation that way. For me, my main goal was to build my reputation based on giving, and the best way that I could do that was by, first of all, giving value and adding value where I could to products that were already being sold in the marketplace through bonus promotions and so on my products that I sold, giving a really good price all the time, so people were always getting value out of it, and also to partners of mine that did have good products, making sure that I put in the effort to really do well for them if it is a good product, because a good product deserves to get out there and deserves to get in the hands of those people that really want it. So that's been my goal, to work towards that, and it's taken a while. It wasn't an overnight thing, but right now, looking at what happened back then and looking what's happening now, it seems there's no doubt that it's such an important part of marketing, building a relationship and making sure that, first of all, people get all their questions answered, and people understand that you're looking out for their best interests. And while we are selling, and me personally, I make money when selling a product, and there's kind of a conflict of interest there in recommending products. I've managed to do it in such a way that even though there is that conflict, as there is with everything, it seems, I've been able to make sure that my customers and people who purchase from me are always happy the way that we've sort of been able to build things, which has been great.
Oh, that's awesome. So over the years, how do you keep your list active? I mean, you're mailing to them, you're offering products. You build a relationship with them, as you mentioned. How do you keep your list active? Does that change? Do you see that fluctuate?
It used to matter a lot to me. When I was just emailing my list and I was just another name out there, and I didn't put a face to what I was doing, my list would die within a matter of a few weeks. And it's still the case with many people in the marketplace. And it really is the difference between a long-term thinking model and a short-term thinking model. If you're building a relationship with your subscribers, you're always looking out for their best needs. They've obviously come to the online marketing world because they want something out of it. Their primary goal is most likely either to extend their business already. It might be to build their business. It might be to just get a start online and start making money. They've come on for a reason, and unless they're willing to give up on that, they're probably going to stay within this community. So as long as you're being someone that is looking out for their best interest, and they can tell that, then there's no reason why they should die. Why would they leave if they can see that you're actually helping them? Why would they stop opening your emails if they can see that they're getting more value out of what they get from you than they are getting from someone else? Why would they stop? So I think that if you do marketing in the right way, then obviously there'll be a drop off to some extent. There is always going to be, because people, whatever happens, someone decides they get a new job, they break through, they start making money online, they no longer need you as a teacher, all this stuff happens. So there is going to be some drop off, but for the most part, those that haven't yet made it, those that still need training, those that still need help, unless there's a serious problem, they should be continuing to open up your emails and be interested in what you have if you do it in the right type of way, longer term opposed from short term. If your subscribers are jumping across, and everyone does, everyone's got everyone else's leads and stuff, but if you see that you're getting abusive messages or high rates of unsubscribes, then that's not normal in this marketplace right now. So make some changes.
Awesome. So you've got well, I want to talk to you a little bit about how many launches you have coming up this year. Do you know how many launches you have in the coming year, or is that something that you just kind of see how it goes?
Yeah, it just depends, really. For me, I don't necessarily go into the year thinking I'm going to do 12 launches or 11 launches. Obviously, my goal would be, if I could do 12 launches, I did over 12 launches last year. Really cool. That was a great goal. But my goals were different last year than they are this year. For me, it's not necessarily about launching so much now. I really want to work with this community and come up with some ways to encourage others to help other members in this community. So previously, last year, the goal of launching was to obviously build my subscriber list. It was to get products that were really good that I'd been building or others have been building out there, and obviously make a good amount of money as well out of that. Because that's obviously why we do marketing, and that went really well. That happened this year. I felt like I did a lot of work last year, and now it's time to change things slightly and work now towards encouraging others in this community, whether it's people that want to make a difference and want to get into this marketplace, working with them a bit more, and just sort of filling in where I can. So my goal going into this year, obviously I will do a number of launches, but it's only this year. The launches that I do will probably be less, and the launches will most likely be around building communities or building a relationship more with people in the community. And it's one of the reasons that I created BakkersBoard. You might have seen that launch in the last couple of weeks.
That was my next question. Is that what inspired you to create BakkersBoard?
It is. Yeah, well, I actually wanted to do something like this about a year ago, and I'd never had the chance to do it. I was always too tied up with launches, and I thought this Christmas time, I had time to have a break, and I thought, what, I'm just going to do it. Like, this is something that I really am quite passionate about. This is a project that I would really enjoy to, investing time into. Not because I make money out of it. I've lost money out of this project so far. It's not because of that. The reason I wanted to do it is because it's something that I really enjoy. I enjoy connecting with people, and it's something that I would have liked to have when I first got online. I was using Warrior Forum. I went onto the Warrior Forum, which was great. But me personally, I feel like the Warrior Forum doesn't really, it's a lot different. This community's changed. It's gone in a different direction. And now it may not cater correctly to people that are first coming into this particular community, in this marketing community, who are following people on JVZoo, following products on JVZoo, and learning through that platform. So, I found that I thought this is a good opportunity to provide something where people can get a start. And so far it's been great. I've had actually friends of mine from school get in touch with me, from way back years ago. And they've said, hey, how do I get started in online marketing? I've been able to direct them to the forum, and they've read through a lot of the material there, and suddenly got back in touch with me all excited that they've learned, what a launch is. They've learned how to email their list and their subscriber list. So, and that's what I want. That's what I want to be able to have, one hub, one place where a lot of knowledge from years of experience is held. So, and it's still a work in progress. It's not perfect at all. It's still very rough, but we're working towards something that I think will be really cool.
Well, congratulations. Anytime you're reaching for something greater than self, which is what you're doing, I think nothing but good can come out of it. So wishing you the best with the BakkersBoard. Yeah, it's great.
Thanks.
So you have something coming up tomorrow. I think it is Social Connect. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing there and what's happening there?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's actually quite funny that there's a bit of background story to it. A friend of mine had a product recently, and I went ahead and got access to it, and I was looking through it, and he had this really cool chat thing going on the right-hand side, and I got in touch with him. I was like, "What is this? This is really cool." A few years ago, I had this idea, and I couldn't implement it at the time. I didn't have the resources to implement it at the time, and it was basically like a box that would be on the side of a membership site and would allow people to chat and basically turn a membership site into kind of like a forum where you could have conversations, you could have different posts and all of that. He had created a good amount of that, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Hey man, have you considered launching this? And I would like to be able to get this out to the marketplace first because I really like the product and I think customers really like it as well. And he said, sure. And then we kind of had a conversation about what kind of features it could have that would be above and beyond. And then, a few weeks later, he had come up with the first sketches. It was good. And now it's been about 2 months since it started building and started being built. And it's a really cool chat plugin. It actually gives you everything you would want in a conversation type software. But one of the other big opportunities that came out of doing this, and it was initially created just for membership sites, is now it's actually turned into a really great sales tool because on sales pages, you notice that if you're on a sales page, and I do this as well, there's certain questions that pop into my mind as I read the message or I listen to the presentation, and often they're not actually resolved. Some questions, they're not resolved. I was actually buying a present a couple of days ago, and I had some questions that I wanted asked. I went into the store and I was looking. It's a present for my wife, and it's a gift that I'm really considering a lot, and I don't want to just jump out and buy it. So I was talking with the salesperson, and then I had a few questions that I wanted answered, and a couple of the questions they couldn't give me a satisfactory answer for. So I left and I came back, and then another salesperson came in, and they were able to give me the right answers, which helped me obviously want to purchase this more. It looks like I'll probably do that now, and it's kind of like that. This software now gives you the opportunity to connect with your audience. If they're on your sales page, they have a question, they want to connect with you, then they're able to do that. And it goes back to one of the reasons why in my business the last couple of years have been really good is because we've really worked hard on, first of all, communicating with people that are, visitors or customers, really working hard on keeping communication really open and also answering questions when people have them. I constantly get questions on a daily basis from people that send in questions about certain products, ask for recommendations, and I answer them. And it means that those questions are taken out of that person's head because they have the answer and they're more equipped to make the right decision. And often that decision is that they want to go forward and buy the product because those problems that they may have had, those objections, were solved. So this plugin, it gives you the chance or the opportunity to add it to any sales page. You can add it to any website, you can add it to any blog, membership site, and people can ask questions, engage in conversations, not only with you, but also people in the community who are also on the sales page. You can engage in live conversations, you can engage in comments, you can also capture each and every person that comments into your subscriber list. So everyone who comments can also be added, and then you can have follow-up sequences that actually follows up and engages that person. It also helps you to build a relationship with your subscriber, and it's going to increase conversion. So that's what the software is, Social Connect. And if you're looking for a software tool that'll give you the ability to basically connect with your audience, help them make a better buying decision, and also engage the community and show current visitors that past customers or past people that had actually gone ahead and bought had the same types of questions, you're able to provide them with an answer to those questions. It's going to mean that far more people end up picking up the product who might, currently be who might right now, if you didn't have the plugin installed or the block installed, would be, searching for those questions and scrolling away because they didn't get answers to those questions. Sometimes it's just one big thing that's left out that can result in, thousands of dollars lost. So we're hoping that this software can be put in people's hands and really help businesses and also marketers online.
Wow, we wish you the best with that. It sounds like a great product. Sounds like a lot of thought and preparation has gone into it. So we're excited to see how it does.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so wonderful. You've given us some great information straight from an insider, and we certainly appreciate your time. Who would you nominate for our next interview for IMMarketNews? Who would you nominate to be interviewed?
Well, that's tough. There's so many. so many people that'll get upset if I don't say their name. That's the problem. I'm gonna say Sam Robinson because you've already interviewed him.
Yeah, so that's a safe bet, right? He'll interview with us, yeah?
No, I think quite seriously, I would probably say Josh Ryder, and I know this just mainly because I know Josh probably better than anyone else in the marketplace that I do know, and he's come into this industry really quickly. Not quite as quickly as Sam Robinson, by the way, but for the short period of time that he's been in here, to do what he's done to launch Video Motion Pro, I think that there's a lot of value and a lot of good information to be learned from how he was able to come into the market very quick. And I'm biased because I know him really well, but I genuinely think, though, that he would be a really worthwhile person to connect with, and he has a video software coming up. So you would want to interview him because I know your next question already. I'd probably say that you'd want to interview him on video marketing or design. He's very, very good on UI design, very good on user interfaces, and he's the first product that he ever sold online was a video marketing product, and basically for the last 2 years, 3 years, he's stayed consistent with that. He's continued to work on his video skills, and he knows what it takes to create really cool looking videos. So
okay,
that's what I recommend.
When we contact Josh, we'll let him know you nominated him. We'll blame you.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam, we know you've got a lot to do. We know you've got a lot coming up, and so we're not going to take much more of your time. We certainly appreciate your time, and thank you for joining us today.
Cool. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Sam.
Well, Josh, I hope you're prepared because you've been nominated. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this interview, and if you're interested in Social Connect, the launch times are 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the 23rd, and the early bird price will increase at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to register for our daily news and interviews with top marketers. I'm Kimberly DeVries for IMMarketNews. Thanks for watching.